Let me see. Wow, it's 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is live. You're supposed to light the menorah really like when it gets dark. But I've had the crappiest day. It goes without saying that the massacre in Australia doesn't just affect me and my wife Debbie as Jews or as human beings or as children of God, but it affects us in a very personal way. Debbie's parents are in Australia right now. They are half a mile from Bondi Beach right now. Debbie's brother and sister, my sister-in-law, right there right now. Nephews, nieces. The two formative years of my life, two most important years of my life, that formed me as a rabbi, were the 2 years that I spent as a rabbinical student in Bondi, a mile from where the shootings took place. That's where I got to know the community. It's where I married my wife. Debbie and I got married in the South Synagogue. Debbie's holding the phone, so she's had a crappy day. I've been on the phone the whole day with friends, family, who in Australia, everyone knows someone who was killed. Debbie and I know people who were killed. Rabbi Yoram Ullman's son-in-law was killed. Yoram Ullman, who's the head of the Beth Din, and he's a genius, Gaon, knows Jewish law like a freaking encyclopedia. He hosted me 3 days after I arrived in Australia in 1986 at a giant Passover Seder for Soviet Jews who had left and gone to Australia. We had like 1,000 people that night. His son-in-law, father of four, father to a baby that I think, 3 months old, 4 months old, was murdered. And then another Chabad rabbi was murdered. So it's been a crappy day, so really I should have lit a lot earlier. But I wanted to go to a lot of the public lightings as well in New York to show support and fearlessness and courage that we in the Jewish community in New York, New Jersey are fearless. I was with a bunch of the mitzvah tanks. I posted some of those videos. This is arguably the worst Chanuka, with the exception of the Holocaust in Jewish history, because the whole idea of Chanuka was a triumph. It was a Jewish triumph. It was the Maccabees defeating the Assyrian Greeks. And today, we weren't just defeated, we were slaughtered. 15 Jews in a community of only 25,000 in Sydney, I'm not great at math, would be the equivalent of 500 Jews having been murdered in a terror attack here in New York. Think about that, okay? And think about the trauma of the Jews. So this is not a happy Hanukkah. This is not a happy day. And I feel like all the joy of the happy days, what we call a Yom Tov, a good day, and Judaism, they're being taken away from us. The happiest day of the Jewish calendar was Simchas Torah. That's now October 7th. Lag BaOmer is a very happy day. You know, usually spring. 45 Jews were trampled to death in Israel 3-4 years ago that day. And now Hanukkah is the day of a massacre in a city where I got married, served as rabbi. And I was just in Sydney